Hello, welcome everyone. This is Tetteh all the way from Ho in the Volta region of Ghana, West Africa. So, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and share so that we can expand our reach. So, today I have this wonderful topic because I was kind of like, when you are in that mood when you're thinking about yourself and you start asking questions. That happened to me, I think, yesterday when I scheduled the show. I think, no, I scheduled the show today. I don't really know when. But it was like I was having a brief moment with myself, and then I have all these questions rolling over my mind. And I try to answer them, but I knew that I don't have all the answers myself. So this is about my ancestry, not ancestry, 23 and me DNA test that I took. And actually, I was sponsored by African Millennium Family, So I was asking myself, right, is it, first of all, I asked myself the question, um, what's the benefit of taking this test? Am I like, is it gonna help? What am I really understanding about myself now as a not just a person, but somebody from living in Africa, coming from families here in Africa? What am I learning about myself? What am I learning about my culture? What am I learning about my tribe? What about even learning about the people I descended from? What am I learning about my language? What am I learning about my history? After all, that was where I ended it. And I started thinking about history. And I quite remember that over here on the continent, right? Oral history is a crucial aspect of us here. Oral history is um, our people pass oral history. We don't have written history or document that are saved in a place or a library where you can go and open it up and to search for the names of your ancestors, what they've accomplished, and all of that. So I was like taking this test, right? The first benefit was that it enabled me to really understand who I am as a person, because when you are an African, you see yourself as a tribe or coming from a tribe. We don't really ask ourselves how, we don't really ask ourselves as Africans, uh, what is the tribe? What is the composition of the tribe? Or how did the tribe came to be? We don't actually ask that kind of questions. But I was able to ask that question because I could see that even from my dad's side of the family, um, it shows uh, a link with the Yoruba people in Nigeria. It shows the Ebe people. It shows the connection with the God Dangbe and all that. And I'm like, that's a big history. It tells me something directly that even though nowadays my people call themselves as global people, is nowadays, even though my people call themselves the global people, um, global is it's just like a clan to me. Nowadays, I understand it's just a clan. Is there something called a tribe, a true tribe? No, because if you call it a true tribe, you might even say, "Oh, bloodline." You might say things like, "What is the bloodline? How do they? Who gave birth to who? Who is the oldest? Who has the control over the other?" And all of those things factor into who should be the ruler over another. And that's one of the things that when I think about tribe, Um, Hello, so I'm learning quite a lot about myself, something that nobody ever told me. Over here, we don't know anything. Nobody ever told me that my ancestors might have even been taken might have even been enslaved. Nobody ever told me that. It's one of the things that even we Africans would not want to be associated with, because um, how how can you be living in your own world, a place or your continent where your ancestors fought for, and yet somebody just walked in. We don't know how. How it's somebody who looked totally different from you and come in and then take your own people or take your family and put them on a horrible boat, stock them in, not even put them in, stock them in like a matches or, or a sardine, and we send them forth to just and use them like a to send them forth to be used, not only used but abused, dehumanized, oppressed, and it's horrible. It's very horrible. Whilst I'm even saying this, I just, you know, if you know the kind of pictures that are running over my mind while I say these things, you'll feel for me because it's very sad. Nobody will want to be associated, even Africans themselves, they wouldn't like to be. And I'm thinking to myself, is that why they kept the history away from us? Did they keep the history that to make themselves feel happy? Because this is what Africans do. We all don't think about it. Oh, you just eat your heart out. Oh, don't you don't have. I mean, we do that a lot. We tell people not to bother about the past, not to do this. No, it's part of us. And I feel like we care less about our history as Africans, continental Africans, of course. We care less about our history. And it's shameful. It's shameful. At least I think like when we have the history, it will even make us more connected with people all across the world. Like the history would have make us connected with our families. At least when we meet somebody who said this, even when they call themselves Black Americans or African American, whatever name they call themselves, when we see them, we definitely know that they have a connection with us. But when you over here, we don't hear that history, we don't hear that, none of that. Once in a blue moon, when you do come, there are people who go to schools, right? I normally used to think that people go to those private schools, of course, they speak good English better than I do. Of course, they are more learned better than I do, but and they had the chance to travel to Accra to visit the Cape Coast, let me just say the slave dungeons, the place where they kept our ancestors, they stripped them of their ties, stripped them of their jewelries, their bracelets, their garments, the place where they chain human beings like cattle. These are the places that they take some of these private school students over here. They take them to they call it excursions to those crazy places. I wouldn't like to visit those places. Why would I visit that place? A place where I know a place which is connected to how me as a person am being viewed in the world globally. When they see this image on you are seeing on the screen right now, they call me black. And it's not just a black, it's just not a word. There is a treatment that comes alongside that word. That means you be regarded as predisposed to crime. They might things that they think about that you are poor, or you lack you lack necessities or basic necessities. When they see you as somebody um who need to be watched because you can easily commit a crime, or you are somebody who is like let me just use the word, uh, emotionally unintelligent. Um, these are things that kind of traumatize me. And sometimes when I'm there and I'm kind of wrap my mind about that, because I definitely know this is why today we as Africans, we the image, like how people see us. Of course we have issues here, but everybody got issues. But when our issues is like, it's just um like the issues that we got is made like that's the worst of the issues. That is like crazy. That is what nobody human should ever think about. Like our issues are made like that. Like I don't know how to make the extreme. Yes, let me use the word. Like our issues that we have as black people are, people see them as extreme, and that kind of factor into how we are being treated, the value we get. Imagine you apply for a job somewhere, you have to really, let me just say, in a white company, as a somebody from Africa or a black, let me just use one. I cannot. Sorry to my families who are abroad, the Caribbean, the diaspora, America, North America, wherever you are in the world watching. I wouldn't, I cannot speak for you, because if I try to speak for you, like if I try to say like, oh, you face this, you face that, it might not resonate so well with other people, because I know even among us there is a lot of division. People who will say, oh, I don't feel white people treat me better. People will say, oh, I don't get treated that way, so you cannot put me into that narrative. And even Africans, continental Africans say that. They're like, oh, I'm a continental African. I don't even know anything about racism. These people trying to force that narrative on me, that I should accept that when I go everywhere I go, people treat me worse. No, that is why it's becoming very difficult to speak for us as people. Like you cannot just speak for all of us. That is why at this platform we speak our mind and we build our community. We just understand. We trying to understand ourselves, because at the end of the day, if we don't understand ourselves, if we still have all these prejudices against each other, there is no way we will not be vulnerable, because the reason we don't have the power to change our narrative is because we are not united. When I mean united, I don't mean, people often have this concept of unity that um you know people have this absolute mindset about unity. Like when I say absolute, right? Like, oh, everybody will be treating each other like one. Everybody will bow down towards each other. Everybody will, I don't know, they have that futuristic. No, let me tell you, I believe, that I want that, but I know in my mind as well. I don't know whether it's a disease, but I know that I know that there is no way that we can achieve that absoluteness, right? But I'm seeking to see a percentage increase in people being nice to each other, seeing each, not really like we as Africans or black people globally, we not seeing each other as threats or competitors or um people who are against each other. I want to see that when we are around each other, we rather feel more comfortable to be ourselves, and and also we are able to what, solve some of the issues that bothers us in our communities, or we are able to talk to each other peacefully. We are able to communicate reasonable with each other on a ground of like um, solving our. Let me just tell you something. There is one of the things that I struggle with nowadays. It is growing even here in Africa. That is, that individualistic mindset. Like, you can't talk to me that way. Oh, I am this person. I am not like you. Oh, I don't do that. I don't have that. Oh, I'm, I am myself. Talk about you, don't talk about me. You know, that kind of mindset nowadays is causing more. division that we ever think, and it's even weakening us as a people. But what amazes me the most is that the same people who claim they are individualistic, guess what? When they face the problems, right? When they face the problems, right, that the people are trying to solve or trying to solve, when they face those problems, they tend to be even have the biggest voice after all. So it's like as we are as African people, we only speak up when the issues concerns us. Why do we have to be like that? When nobody is dying in your family, you are always quiet. But when somebody die in your family, you are speaking out, you are calling out, oh, can you help me? This what happened to me. This what happened to my father, my brother. This what happened to me. No, that is what I hate about us. I think it has to change. It must change. We have to stand up for each other, right? We have to stand up for each other. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to be Tetteh. You don't have to come from my family. But at least when I'm talking, you have to stay at my at least try to fit in my spectacle to see things like I do see it and to understand me before you even speak. But when you try to judge me based on your knowledge or pre existing knowledge or indoctrination that you have about me, that is a problem. It's a big problem. And I often think that as people, we should work on this. It's very sad. Very, very sad. I want to say a warm welcome to all of you watching, and I want to say a big welcome to my cousin, my fifth cousin in the chat. Live full circle, live full circle, guys. I will be sharing a link very soon. I was very surprised to know that my cousin, right, still keeps some aspects of the culture, the Krubo or the Gadangbe culture, which is the bead making, and it speaks more to me. Like, how did this happen? It tells you more, right? Um, cousin, please don't share your name. Don't share your name here. Can you remove that comment? Don't share your name because we don't know. When we are in these spaces in our community, right? A lot of people can be toxic, and I wouldn't want any of my people to be harmed. Okay? Yes, I wouldn't want. Yeah, I will want you to be safe for me. Over here in Africa, I can share my name, but in America, if I try to share that, somebody might just listen to my podcast and get angry and be like, "Oh, this guy is trying to talk about me. This guy is trying to," and then they'll come again trying to take my life. Yes. So that's good. Thank you very much for doing that. I'm gonna be sharing a link right now. So this my cousin live full circle in the chat. Is does bead. Okay, he does bead. And when I mean does bead, I don't know whether he posts the beads, the glass bead himself, but he knows how to put the beads together. The West African, typical West African beads that is unique to my God Dangbe, the Evers, the phones, the coolers, and the Yoruba in some parts of the Igbo tribes. The bees that he sells this, he deals in bees. So if you wanna get those bees, I'm gonna leave the link very soon. I'm trying to get please can you leave the link in the chat? Type the link to your website so that I will share it with people. If you live in the USA, you need to get those beads because those beads speaks more. It speaks more. It connects us back to our ancestors. Okay, we are able to communicate with our ancestors when we have something that they are connected to. Okay, I don't know whether you understand. When your ancestors love something or they do something right and you follow that footstep, you are in connection with them. You are in close proximity with them. They can easily share information with you. They can easily um, share knowledge with you. They can easily be around you to protect you. um, so all of you are welcome. If you're watching, make sure you like the video. share so that please share the video so that we can increase our reach right now. I actually choose this particular time because I want to reach people in the West as well, while I share my experience with this DNA test. Right now, back to the topic. Right, um, I'm I'm still talking about just I just want to talk about the amazing thing that is happening in my life after taking the 23andme DNA test that was sponsored by African Millennial Family on YouTube. If you don't know African Millennial, check African Millennial on YouTube and you'll get her. She has been very supportive. My sister, she's my sister. Uh, not a straight direct line sister, but I know the dad is from um, my tribe, my dad tribe as well. So yeah, she was very supportive person. And also, I wanna say I don't know where my people are today. Sorry, let me just do this. Um, I I wanna say I don't know where Mr. Uganda has been. Wherever he is, Mr. Uganda, greetings to you. I really want to hear from you. I know you are safe. So, shout out to you and your family. And I also want to say a big shout out to people who have been very supportive to Afriscope TV. I also want to say a big shout out to my cousin who saw my platform and were like, "No, I want you to keep doing what you're doing," and he supported me. Supported me, or he supported us. Okay, supported with $20. See that massive, right? So, how many people can do that? You know, let me tell you, we have to always we have to always praise people in our family that will dig their hands into their pocket, or not into their pocket, but or will show their effort, will be supportive people around us. We have to always praise these people because these are the people we want. These are the people we want. We don't want people who are so individualistic. They think that the world revolves around them. We don't. Anyways, sorry I never added the name to the list. Let me just add it right now. Life full circle to the banner. Um, let me just add this. hmm So so all of you, shout out to you. Yeah. So again, talking about this DNA test that I took, right? I'm gonna talk to you more, right? Number one, I first of all started that I'm I'm learning so much about myself. Things that even some of my uncles don't even know. Is it not shameful that you call your uncle as an uncle? Have you ever heard a history of slavery in our family that some of our ancestors are captured into slavery? Have you heard that? Or have you heard any of them were missing? And, and then they were like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, that. And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And it, I felt sad because I don't know how to explain that feeling. It's like we don't know ourselves. But guess what? That is why I think the DNA test, we as Africans needed to do it the most. We need to do it the way we have to understand ourselves. People who come here and they are being tribalistic or whatever. Let me tell you, what if you take your DNA test, you find out that even the tribe that you claim you are from, you are not from that tribe? What if you matches with a lot of people from another tribe? You see, what would you do? What would you do? So you see, I feel like we as Africans need to do this thing. Especially if you live in a diaspora, most of these Ancestry DNA, 23andme, those two companies, at least I recommend them. It's not a paid promotion. No, it's not a paid promotion, but I'm saying that the benefit that this will have to us as African people, especially West and Central Africans and some of the Malagasy, Madagascans who were enslaved. Okay, we need to take this test because this is a proof. This tells a bigger story. Who Maybe one day we might unite under that discussion and be like, no, this is my DNA, these are my relatives in America. It shows that I have fourth and above cousins, generational cousins there. That means my ancestors were enslaved. And therefore, on this ground, I want their descendants to have reparations. Yes, we can use that ground. That is a proof. It is science, it is scientific. We don't have the history because guess what? The colonizers, okay, the European colonizers were the same people who brought this Western education. So the language I'm speaking with you, I went to their institution. It was I learned it. That is why I'm not. So no matter how much I try, no matter how much I try, you will still get grammatic. You still hear the grammatical errors and the difficulty pronouncing some words right from me. So I learned that for so many years from all my life. I've been learning English. So you see, they brought the education, their education system here. They never included. Let me tell you the truth. They never included anything African when it started. Right? They never included anything African in their education. They thought out about the English screens. They thought about we even used to sing their the national anthem of the England. Ghana used to sing those. So most of the countries that you know, they used to sing the national anthem and pledge of the various let me just say the colonizers country. They used to sing their anthem. They used to everything. Their curriculum was designed not even to build. It was designed to produce the type of people that will uphold their system or put their hold their system in place. And guess what? People who could not send their children to school were punished. People who even teachers that were trained by them to teach who were wearing their own traditional clothes and jewelries to school were were sacked from school. One of them was Ephraim Amu. I think yeah, Ephraim Amu. Yes, Ephraim Amu was one of the biggest, one very good songwriter and musician, and he taught at one of the oldest schools here in Ghana, called Achimota Senior High School or Achimota School. And he loved. He's somebody who loved his culture. He sings in Ewe and some of the account dialects. And when he was going to school wearing the kente cloth and whatever, he got sacked. He said no. They said no, he has to dress like an European. He has to dress in a trouser with a shirt or a long sleeve to come to school and wear a shoe on his foot. So you tell me something. Is this freedom? How can you be in your own hometown where you have a foreign army guarding your institution, you have foreigners administering your country, foreigners teaching your children, foreigners teaching your children even their curriculum, nothing relating to you. What does that do? What would that do to you? It will wipe away your history. It will wipe away your own heritage, culture, and rich system in place. It's gonna just wipe all of them out. And this was one of the reasons I would say I am very sure that this is why most of the history about what happened to our ancestors went out of history or cannot be traced or cannot even be recovered. The history can't be recovered. You see, and it's very sad. It hurt my soul to the. It hurt me. It hurt so much to know that we cannot. We don't know much about ourselves. That is why, if you're an African watching and you live in the diaspora, let me tell you, I try to encourage many people on my platform to take DNA tests to help them. Guess what they say? Oh, they sell the DNA key. They'll sell your they'll sell your information to DNA companies. They'll mine your DNA. They'll um, they'll make people who look like you. What do they call it? I think they call it a clone. They'll clone people in your image. Uh, they will. They will even they say things about they'll make drugs that will kill you, and then at the same time they'll make drugs that they'll sell to you, or yes, they said they'll make toxins that will target you, or pathogens that will target you, and then when you are sick, they'll still make drugs that will solve you, in particular your illness. That means that when that happens, drugs that we know as paracetamol that works on most people wouldn't work on you. You have to have your own paracetamol. And people say all of those things to kind of make us feel like, oh, we have to be afraid. Let me tell you, they run the shit. They run the shit. When I say they run the shit, they run the system. Yes, the colonizers, even their descendants, are the people who are ruling the world. They control the world's affairs. They determine what right and wrong should be. They determine who should lead and who shouldn't. So let me tell you, already, I'm just telling you all of this so that I get you ready, so that we can fight in our own places where we are. We can fight the battle. Okay, if we don't know what you are fighting for, there is no fight. If you don't know your I'm not gonna use the word enemy. If you don't know what you are fighting for, then you cannot even, there is no fight, there is no war, or there is nothing you are striving for. So you see, so I always encourage people that they should leave that aside. The people, they already got you. They got you. They have all the worldwide information, right? They have information about health in worldwide. They know the type of illnesses that our people, even in Africa, suffer. They have a database, World Health Organization database. They know our genetic information. They know more about us than we know about ourselves. And it's shameful. That's very shameful. They know much about ourselves than we know about ourselves. And it kind of shocked me why we don't have massive DNA companies here in Africa. Let me tell you something. It's not that we don't have geneticists. We have a lot of geneticists that left this continent. It's like they put a system in place where the brain drain, like they drain this continent of its valuable human resources. This is just a tip. I'm just going to talk about human resources at this time. I'm talking about natural resources. You know, they always have a way, they put a system in place where they teach and get the best people out of the system. They produce them, get them out, the chaff are left behind. So at the end of the day, you see that some of our people are occupying position in the best genetic labs in the UK, in Canada, in the US, in somewhere around the world. And guess what? In Africa, there is no, not, there is much or little progress. There is little progress made in when it comes to genetic genetics, or yes, human genetics and DNA companies. You don't have much of that, and it's sad. So they already have information about us. They have the databases. They have everything. So when you sitting out there, you say, "I'm not gonna take the DNA test." Oh, I don't want them to clone me. I don't want them to sell my DNA. Let me tell you, have it. They have it already. Let me tell you, they have most of the information. Yes. Over here, even in Africa, they collect information about the type of blood groups that everyone has. They collect that. When you go to the hospital, your folders, they have information about your blood groups, your platelets, the whatever, all the components of your blood. So all of those information, World Health Organization might request for national data, and they'll add up those data, give it to them. So at the end of the day, what happened? They have specific data about all of us that we don't have. And not only us, they have it about every place of the world. When I talk like this, I know it's not only about Africa. Let me tell you, they have data about everywhere in the world, not only Africa. They have data, the genetic data of everywhere. So come back to your senses. Don't There is nothing to fear than you yourself. Because when you are putting that fear in you that, oh, because somebody is gonna do this, when you know already you are in their hands, let me tell you something. I had never wanted to take these COVID-19 shots. I never wanted to take the shot. I studied so much. I'm somebody who also took a little bit. I took an introduction to biology, biology too, and we studied the DNA and all of those things as well. So I really know that all of those things that they are injecting into our body to kind of boost us to against these things are also programming our system or our biology. And when that is happening, that means when other forms of diseases that your body can naturally handle, it can't handle it because it's like the normal function of the body has been altered, right? The normal function of the body is altered using those medicines. So when it's altered, the body cannot act on itself again. When it determines a different disease or a strand of pathogen, it needs to really de- um, develop itself or reprogram itself to handle that. But because it now is depending on other foreign aid that is injected to the body, it is not. It's like it has made it lose. This is. Let me tell you, health is very connected. Let me use this to tell you something about addiction. It's just like addiction, right? When you are addicted to a drug, that means that your system needs that drug to function a certain way. So even if you don't take that drug, that means the system will not function because the normal functioning of your system is altered, right? The normal function of your system is altered. So if that drug is not in your system, your body will not work properly. That is one part of addiction. And this is okay. This is about biology, human biology. So our body is not something that today and you're not feeling well, you just take it in and then you feel better tomorrow. No. When you take in those things, it rather programs your body because it's not designed by your body. So now your body is the normal state of your body is altered. Now it has to be depending on vaccines or let me just say drugs that are made for it to work well. So I knew that, but because of the world politics and over here how the leaders here act, right? Because of the, Akufado, I was afraid. I was unemployed. I'm somebody who, because of the COVID, the family business, the business we do, we lose the place, the restaurant, because we can't pay. They can't pay the amount of money you were mentioning. So we have to leave that. And so I was unemployed. I know I'm in the house. I just graduated. I have so much on my mind to handle. And I'm like, now, what if right now they said that if you don't take the shot, you can't travel, you can't even work at certain offices. If you don't take the shot, you can't work at certain offices and whatever. And what hurts me the most is that we don't even have those viral, we don't have the cases here. But they're forging the data, they're trying to get aid from the World Health Organization, all this foreign organization, and they just want aid. So they were forging the data. They're telling lies. Oh, there are 1,000 cases. There are 2,000 cases. All of them are lies. They just want money. They just want money because the West was paying because of that. Well, of course. Let me say shout out to Icon Fire in the chat. Icon Fire, welcome. So you see, this is it. This is purely the situation. Purely the situation. It hurts. So it's like our own people are now being used against us. These leaders, these puppets, they sit back there. They tell them everything. The World Health Organization or the UN tells them everything, and they do it. They tell them that we have cases, they have to inject us. And no, you have to tell them this is the statistics we have. There is nothing here. We don't have that. Tell them we are not gonna take it. If they won't handle it, they'll handle it. But there are a lot of property here. They are afraid of sanctions. They are afraid of sanctions, so they forced us. Oh, if you don't take it, you're not gonna go to. You will not work. If you are employed, you will have to show the card. Guess what? it got to a point when I'm like, now that I need money, now that if what happened when somebody wanted to support me or sponsor me to maybe travel abroad or or somebody want to give me jobs or wants me to work, help them in an office, and the one of the requirements is that I take the test or I show my card, that means I wouldn't get a job. So I had to force myself and go and take the COVID jab. I had to go and take the jab. I took the first dose and I took the second dose later on, and then a month later. And I got the card with the code number that you registered on it down, just because of future references. What? Because I was desperate. I knew I needed help. So you see, these people they control us. They control. We are vulnerable. Honestly, I wish I could be in that environment and be and call myself. This is my land. This is where my ancestors fought for. This is where I need to have my freedom. I don't need to take this job from anywhere. Let's exclude us from. But guess what? The corporate leaders, they are afraid of sanction because they know the sanction will affect them most than us. Most Africans don't care about going to the America or going to Canada or whatever. It's actually we the educated ones. We were educated and thought that we needed to be in a nice house, we need a car, we need a money in our account, we need this and we need that. And that is what we want because we are not getting it in our systems here in Africa. A lot of us want to travel abroad so that we can go and have that, so that we can have a better life or have a better future. That is what we are fighting, is because of the same system. So the same puppets also having the same situation. They know that when the puppets, right, the leaders, so-called leaders across this continent called Africa, right, they know that sanctions will actually hurt them the most than even most of the citizens. Most of them in the villages are subsistence farmers. No matter what happened, they will return to the old days. They will work among each other, they will exchange whatever they had, and they will leave. But the so-called leaders who depend on collecting taxes, who depend on living on people's suffering, the same so-called leaders who want to travel to Dubai, who want to travel to Paris, who want to travel to London, who want to travel to Switzerland, who want to travel to the United States, who want to travel around the world, they knew that the sanction will hurt them because their diplomatic passports or whatever will not work again. They will not work. They won't be able to travel around the world. They wouldn't be able to channel their wealth from Africa and go and put it in somebody else's. Let me tell you, it hurts so much. Sometimes I ask that question. I ask myself the question: those leaders also know that their families were enslaved? Because if they know, they wouldn't take money from Africa. They wouldn't take our gold and go and deposit it in foreign bank account in the UK, Switzerland, the US. They wouldn't go and be investing in real estate in London when they know for sure that they are giving the money, our wealth, our future back to the colonizer, the oppressor, so that they will be living better off and be telling us that we are poor, right? Anyways, so I'm learning so much. These are the things that I've been learning, right? If you're watching me, these are the things that I've been learning. These are the kind of questions that I throw to myself and I try to answer it. I know I don't have all the answer. I know I don't have the answer to all of these questions, right? But it kind of make me a open-minded, right? I'm very much open-minded nowadays. I'm growing each and every day because I got to see myself not just as a person, but I saw the different faction of me that needs I see a lot about me. I'm growing, I'm seeing, I'm learning a lot. And I think that people, when they take this DNA and they take it with the right mindset, right? You have to know why you are taking the test. Don't just say, I'm going to take a test. Take it. Let me tell you, I was pretty much shocked that there were even cousins who had children with women and they left them, and the kids are looking for their fathers. They are looking for their father. They wrote on their biography that they don't know their real father. They took the test just to look for their fathers. And guess what? So I'm becoming more suspicious. Most of the men, when I search my DNA, most people are actually women. Okay, about 70% or so are women. So I'm suspecting most men don't want to take the test because they know they don't want to take on the responsibility of being a father. Those are the men. It's shameful, very, very shameful. So if you are an African man watching me, you don't want to take the test. If this is your reason that you don't want anybody to contact you and tell you that you are my father, your DNA, I've been searching for you. You don't want anybody to tell you that because you just don't want to take on the responsibility of being a father, but you wanna be what? Soaking your noodles everywhere. You wanna be soaking your noodles, wetting it everywhere. If that is what you want to do, I think you should. It is high time you change because what goes around comes around. Okay, what goes around comes around. The world is more bigger than you think. There is a spiritual dimension. There is a physical dimension. You and I will operate mostly on the physical level. People have the power to even operate on the spiritual level. But let me tell you, the seed you are sowing, right? You are also sowing a spiritual version of it. That is why you have to change your lifestyle. Okay, you have to change your lifestyle. There are things that you love that you have to tell yourself that no, not everything that I love is right. You have to tell yourself that even though I love, even though I love this, not everything that you love is right, and then you have to put them aside. And those of the men in my family that refuse to take on the responsibility of being a father go back and apologize to the women and apologize to these children and take them on because they need you. Anyways, so this is one of the aspects. I found it shocking that most African people, especially the men, not careless. If you careless, let me tell you, I made a show recently about what should or what must African people learn from the Westerners or the white people. I think we should learn being serious. We should be serious. We should take things seriously. Yes, I also think that we should learn to, um, yeah, we should learn to be chaste. When I say chaste, we should stay on, be, don't, when you say one, it should be one. Don't say tomorrow, the next day, don't say it is two. When you see black today, tomorrow, make sure you say it is black. Don't say tomorrow, it's actually white. Don't say that. Let's be straightforward, people. Because the white people, the reason why most of them actually succeed, most of them, and I don't believe that all of them are like that, but I believe that they do fight for that. That today, white people don't forgive. I'm telling you, I learned this hard lesson that white people don't need. I learned it when I was at school. You fail to submit your assignments, and guess what? You tell them, "Oh, my internet." They say, "Why? You refused to contact me earlier. You could have contacted me earlier because you didn't contacted me. You didn't contact me earlier. I wouldn't mark your grade or I wouldn't take your paper." So do you tell me? I learned that at school when I was studying over the internet. I learned that these white lectures and whatever they don't take shit. You cannot. But we Africans, we take everything for granted. Africans, continental Africans, we take a lot of things for granted. We are not as serious as we're supposed to be. White people don't forgive. They don't. When you do something, they will tell you. They will jail you. You go to court. You end up spending money, but you still go to jail. Over here in Africa, oh, you can commit the crime when you have the money. You show the money, and you are all out. What is it telling about ourselves? It's telling us that we are not serious. We are creating a toxic society, a dangerous society where people can be buying freedom, where people can buy um, can use money to exchange with image or I mean, look at that. I'm even lacking the words to use right now. Think about how dangerous that is to our growth as people. Living in a world where people can just use money to buy their way out of every situation. You can go to the hospital right now. There are 1,000 people ahead of you. You just pay 30 cedis or 50 cedis, and then you immediately mention your name at the doctor's office to come. What about the people who are dying and they are crying in the queue? Do you tell me that mindset that we have is a problem? Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. Oh, it's nothing. Don't bother. Oh, I'm just joking. White people don't joke easily. When they joke, they even can buy their way out of that joke. But when you are a black person, you remain. But let me tell you, let's be serious with our life. That's what I want to say. And I've learned so much when I took my 23andme DNA test. And I'm encouraging you guys to also take it so that we get to know how complex we are. We must honor our ancestors, especially we, if you know for sure or if somebody discover that you have people who were enslaved. Let me tell you, that means those people, let me tell you what happened. They they had to endure all the sufferings, the hurt, the shame, the oppression. They have to see all this craziness for you and I to live, or for you to live, to survive. Some of us come on YouTube and we say things like, oh, the African enslavers because somebody told you that they were sold. Do you think every African on the continent will pack their own children or will want to sell their own family members? What? What? To them in those days, the family members are their wealth. They are people who farm. They are people who go and fetch water. There are people who fetch firewood. There are people who keep the family running. When you take them out, what do? How are they gonna survive? That means you crush their economy. You crush their economy. How will they do that? So they make it look like everybody's on the continent, they are just picking each other and they're selling. No. That if you are somebody and you believe that narrative, that means that you are mentally incapable. Like you are mentally uh you are lacking. You are mentally lacking something. You are not correct. I'm telling you. You are mentally deprived. That's the right word. If you believe whatever these same people tell you, you are mentally deprived. Does it mean that I'm not a human being? Let me tell you, look at my DNA test. If you think you are more superior than me, look at my DNA. I don't have any European, and I'm not saying people who have European or my cousins who have European ancestry are bad people. But I'm saying I don't have European. But look at the way I think. Look at the way I think, or look at the words that are coming from my mouth. Is it a word of foolishness? Is it a word of somebody who wants to go and pick somebody and sell them out? If you look at me, then you might as well see the image of the complexity of people around us. Of course, look around the internet, right? Look at the people, the amount of people we have on the internet. What do they do? Look at the Africans carefully on the internet. Look at how they speak, what they do. When you listen carefully to them and their lifestyle and their choices and the way who they hang out with and whatever, you'll be able to tell whether whether you'll be able to compute the statistic of how many people can be toxic and how many people can be the sellout and how many people can be the fighters and how many people can be the strongholds on the continent. So you tell me, that tells you that the picture is not one-sided, it's not just entirely sellout or it's not entirely perfect people, but we all have sellouts in our midst. Even you live in America, but you still have sellouts there. I learned it. I read about it in the history that even in America, even on the field that our ancestors were suffering, were picking the cotton, picking fire, fetching the firewood, cooking, and hustling and doing all of the the, I mean, working like working themselves out like a machines for somebody to enjoy life. With all of that being done, right? With all they still had sellouts on those land. They had sellouts among themselves. They had people who go and report to master that master, this person refused to do the work, or this person stole this, or when you were not there, they stole your food. This person did this, they did that, don't they? So that should tell you something about us. So we are not one-sided. But the message I'm trying to pass right now is that we need to know on we need to have the builded skill of identifying the right people. It is easy. It is easy to see Africans that say nice words, but their actions speak something else. They are saying the nice words, but their actions say something else. Don't you? What would you do when that happened? So we have to have that spirit of discernment. We have to be able to discern who we should hang out with, who we should connect with. If you really are, when you are fighting for change, a positive change, you have to really know who to really hang out with, because people around you will shape you. If you're hanging out with somebody who tell you that all Africa and sell out, you can't make it in Africa. When you come, you will die. The people would sell you out again. When you have somebody who push that narrative, the person they are not fighting for you to survive. They are fighting for you to hold, so that you not grow. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to learn about yourself. They don't want you to be adventurous. They don't want you to discover yourself. They want to limit you. Those people are not talking for us. They are talking, they might be talking for themselves, or they might even be talking for the same oppressor that you and I are fighting ourselves, are fighting every day to liberate ourselves from. The people we are fighting so hard to liberate ourselves from are under the the claws of their oppression. The people we are fighting every day, when we're going hustling every day, there are people among us that will tell you, oh, it's better. It's better to be around them. Or it's better to have that around them than ourselves. There are people who will use statistics. Of course, they'll use the statistic and maximize it. They'll capture the sample population. They capture the population. They'll sample the particular side of the population where they identify that there is a high degree of there is a high degree of sellout. Those are the place the type of data they will use to tell you that you see how many people here. There are a lot of people here that are sellout. So if you approach them, they are gonna sell you out. So you tell me. Hmm. So it's a bit of a problem that we have, that we are not only fighting a battle with somebody who we call oppressor, or the descendants of any oppressor, or any system built against us. We are also fighting a battle within ourselves that we don't know how your brother will tell you. You tell them that, oh, I met my cousin in Africa, or I met my distant cousin in Africa. Hey, be careful. Have you heard that? Have you heard this? They'll start putting all the negative news. They'll show you images. They'll show you that. And you'll be like, damn, I ain't going. I'm not going there. I better stay in America. After all, the Africans are coming here in the first place. Are they not coming? They all want to be here. I ain't going. Yes, they'll show you all that data, and you ask yourself the question: Is what did this person want for me? Is it true that they want me to live in suffer, or they want me to be under master and be like, master, I love you. I will obey your laws and regulations. I will, or they want me to be singing the Star Spangled Banners, or whatever they call it, or they want to be singing, and they call it God. God bless the King. God bless the Queen. They want you to be singing those kind of songs, right? Yeah. Sorry, guys. I know some of you are very patriotic. Even some of the continental Africans that gain um the passports. hmm I know they have the passport with the British stamp on it. They have the Canadian passport, and they have the Switzerland and the European passports, and they have the American passport, and so they become like angels. And then when they are speaking, they're like, I don't swear, swear. I just got to be regular. Pardon me. I gotta. Let me tell you, you are deceiving yourself. You often come across Africans. I mean, you just went to America 5 years ago, and then you came back pretending as if you can't even speak your own language, your own native tongue. You are pretending as if you can't sing, you can't speak it. You, Kweku, your brother Kweku, you are calling your brother Kweku, Kweku, Kweku. No, you are. It's sad. I don't mean to make it funny, but at the end of the day, it's funny the way we Africans can, in the course of our desperation to survive because of our system here. They made it like this. They created the system. It's a system. Look at it. It's a pyramid. It's a pyramid system. It's a pyramid system, meant to keep the majority underneath, where a few people are on top of the pyramid gain access to most of the resources and gain access to the control, or have massive power to control the population. So you see, and it's pretty much it's a nuisance. I find it's a nuisance. Like when I come across Africans that, because they get a US visa, they are making shows, and then they are saying things like, um they're making shows saying that, oh, Africans are trash. Africans can't make it. Africans can't even unite. Africans can't unite because they don't want. You know, and do you know what hurts me the most, right? If they are men, these are men who give birth to children, who produce babies, who raise them up. These are men that tell them that tell people, men who are supposed to raise their children to be like to be the freedom fighters, to tell them that we can unite. We have to love each other. We have to treat each other. We have to respect each other. These are men that tells you that because we have many tribes in Africa, we can't unite. Oh, African can unite. They have different countries. Oh, Africans can't work together with each other because this is this and this is that. And when I see old folks like that, it hurts me to the core of my soul, because these are men who will be producing babies, who will be raising families. They're supposed to. Let me tell you something. I normally say use this word, right? I use this adage in ever. They say avutoma sema setobavu melianu. Avutoma sema setobavu melianu. Right? This is the meaning of that. If you are not a wild hunter, if you are not a wild hunter, you cannot raise a hunting dog. Only wild hunters can raise a wild hunting dog. If you yourself you are lazy, you would like to hang out in the cool place, you don't want to fight, you just don't want, you just prefer life to be the same way, and you want to be singing the same sad story. Oh, we can't make it, we can't unite because of that. If you like to sing the same story, if you like to say the same things, right? There is no way you raise your children to liberate themselves. There is no way, because your children learn from experience. Children learn from seeing, from experiences, and also from what their own parents. It starts immediately they are born. Their brain started picking the data around them. You see, that is why when you are raised in a city, when they take you and you are grown and they take you to a village, you can't stay there. You can't live in a village, because the people who are raised in the village from the childhood to it took time for they were raised from childhood. They know how to go and fetch firewood. They know how to carry bowls on their or large they know how to balance things over their head. Go get water, go fetch this, go and farm on the field. So you see, those people are raised different because of their environment. You are from a different environment as well. So if you supposed to teach your people the truth and be very instrumental in their development and their fight for the nation, and then you staying there telling them they cannot do it, oh they can't do it, we can't win, oh it's just a waste of time, just make sure you find a place to rest, it's a big job to do, all Africans are trashes, we have too much problems, oh we have too much baggages in our family. Can you do you remember that even our family is cursed? The people will tell you we have our families will tell you, hey, our family is cursed. We have high degree of diabetes in our family. We are cursed. People will tell you that, oh, do you know we have been cursed? There are people who die like this. A lot of people die the same way. It's like people who scare you off. Like hey, being an African is not easy. There are people who will wake up and say they dreamt about somebody who want to kill them, so and that person is against them. And I'm like, seriously? Just like that? Anyways, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's funny. It's funny, but at the same time, it's kind of like it's shameful. It's something that I let me tell you to some degree. Everybody want life to be easy for them. People want to suffer. Nobody want to suffer. All of you will be watching me later or are watching me currently or hearing my voice. Okay, hearing my voice speak, right? Um, let me just tell you something. I no None of us want to suffer. Nobody, no human being under the sun want to suffer. Even in the villages, in the typical villages, people dream of a life where there is something working for them. Yes, even back then when I was young and I used to go carry things over my forehead, I'm like, oh, I wish that one day I have something like a robot, or I never even thought about robot. I have something that will, like a machine that will do everything for me, and I don't have to cook, I don't have to clean, I don't have to farm, I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is to sit down and the machine is feeding me during elephant. Even in the typical villages, people think that way because human beings want to be happy, human beings want to be free, human beings want to experience life easy, or we want easy life. I'm telling you, we want easy life. So when eventually the easy life, so eventually when the easy life is not becoming easy, they want to seek shortcuts. We want to like we're looking for easy ways or shortcuts and means to be happy. And most of the time, that is why life become even more worse. Life become more worse when we try to seek easy path. I quite remember something, but I'll be sharing a story with you later on, but not today. Like there are things that I did that something that I regretted so much, and I kept it for so long. I never shared it with anybody. You know, I hate regret. I hate regret. That is why when I'm making decisions, I'm very careful. When I'm making certain decisions, I'm very careful because I hate regret. Um, when I say regret, I don't know whether you understand it the way I do understand it. Making a decision because of making a hasty decision that you have never thought well about. Then later onwards, it turned bad, and when it turns bad, you are suffering from the hurt and the pain that you've endured because of that decision that you made. You are often thinking about the mistakes all over again. Sometimes the brain is like there is a demon in. Sometimes it feels like there is a demon that gets into you, who is that demon is playing that memory. over and over again, repeating that memory, rewinding it, and it hurts. The more it's rewinding it, the more you are weeping inside, you are hurt inside. You know, we most of us men, we don't cry like women that, but you are hurting inside, and it's crippling you. It's making you lose weight. It's making your brain to malfunction. You might be in a store and you forget about what you are buying. Ha- Has that ever happened to you before? Has it happened to you before that you walk into a store or you walk into a shopping mall? You walk into a mall, and then maybe you might be searching for um, maybe a detergent. You walk towards the detergent and you forgot because you forgot about what you really want, and then you walk backwards. What am I looking for in this place? Oh, have I am I losing my brains? Why am I here? Has that happened to you before? Like, you reach a place where sometimes you might even walk to a place for a particular reason. You got there and you seem to forget the reason why you were there in the first place, and you are like, why am I here? Oh, is something getting wrong with me? Oh, I think I'm getting not. Oh, I'm losing my brain. There is something getting wrong with me. And then you go to the hospital and they give you many drugs. They tell you to sleep. All right, let me tell you, all because of your stress, because sometimes the brain also treats us that way. Sometimes regret also plays the part. You know, you take some action that you shouldn't take, or you make some stupid decisions, and then it comes back hurting your life. And that is why I'm very careful who I associate myself with. I'm very careful. I know I'm not perfect. That is why I prefer people who are very open minded. They are people who are emotionally intelligent. People who are emotionally intelligent. And instead of jumping into making decisions, they ask questions. They ask themselves why when they are angry or they are having a negative emotion, they ask themselves, why am I angry? Why am I having this negative emotion? And they try to understand themselves first so that they know how to take the right step to take. You see, such people, I like them rather than people who just immediately they are hurt, they start throwing things, they start cursing, they start. It's just not right, you know. And so sometimes, yeah, you know, we learn as people, we learn, right? I'm growing each and every day. I'm learning. I don't know everything, but with this DNA test, what is happening to me right now, or what is happening in my life right now is amazing. That there are a lot of people who will not like to connect with me, but I think it's gonna take a time. It's gonna take some time for them to develop or to grow with me, to grow. And so sometimes you have to let people be, let them grow. As time goes on, they will get to know themselves better, and when they get to know themselves better, they'll realize that they need to take some decision, and that decision shall be taken really well. Um, Guys, I have about three people watching. I thought that a lot of people would tune in because I thought a lot of Americans would tune in and into the show. Since today is Wednesday, May 4th, 2022. Um, so it's 10:21 p.m. GMT, 10:21 a.m. GMT in Ghana. So right now it's late. My mom is asleep. My families are asleep. I'm actually I don't really speak this way. I'm trying to talk, you know. I don't want to speak so loud and wake people up because sometimes it can be annoying as well, you know, taking me in. This is why I just can't visit some of my uncles because I know I might be disturbing them when they are resting, and that is why. And I have some uncles that I really want to visit, and as time goes, or maybe something will happen. Amazing things will happen. And guys, if you're watching, keep supporting Afriscope TV. If you want to support me, right? Um, people who would like to support Afriscope TV, um, you can look in the description on under the video. Click down on the description section. You see, World Remit, Zoom, PayPal, Remitly. Is I mean, World Remitly Zoom is like very. It's just instantly. I can receive the money instantly here in Ghana. But with PayPal and Zoom, I had to pass through intermediaries, right? Even though I have a account. So if you want to support me, a lot of you use Cash App. With the Cash App, right? This is the link. I don't know what I have it there. Um, what's going on? So with the Cash App, I'm picking the link. Okay, this is Cash App. Um, is $ Afriscope GH. $ Afriscope GH. And don't worry about the name behind it. It will definitely get to me. And I will also notify the panel about your massive support and donation as well. If you want to use PayPal, or if you are somebody you only have PayPal, you want to use PayPal, you can send it to paypal.me/Afriscope. So in your browser, just type paypal.me/Afriscope, and then when you go there, you can log in, or if you already log in, you can just type my PayPal me link, and then you enter the amounts of money you want to send, and it will arrive. But I prefer that most people who have Cash App actually use Cash App, because Cash App is very easy. It's easy for me to receive it than PayPal. I'm having issues with my PayPal account. PayPal is not in Ghana, so we have to pass through a lot of ways and means to get to use PayPal. I've even acquired two cards now, and I've tried to link them to my PayPal, and all of them were declined because they are registered in Ghana. If they were to be registered, or if their location or their address is in the US, it might have worked on my account. But a story for another day. We're keeping it going. Um, I say, um, I think we are continental Africans. Like, there are people who would like to know much about their families here in Africa, and I think the best way to do that is through recent cousins, recent recent DNA cousins. They can tell you or let you know the exact location that your ancestors were in, and you can even trace your people when you when you have the um, when you have relative matches in when you have relatives or matches in Africa, the cousins, right? They will help you out. But a lot of the problem is a lot of the companies don't ship here. 23andme don't ship in Ghana to Ghana. Ancestry don't ship to Ghana or ship to Africa. So all of these DNA companies in the West, they don't ship to Africa. To some degree, I tend to be curious most of the time. I think it's because they don't want us to that know that history, or to be able to link up with our distant relatives in the Americas and the Caribbean and around the world, because that will shape our history. It will shape our narrative. Because guess what? Now, when I'm talking, I don't talk like just a person from Ghana or whatever, from a particular tribe, but I talk as a person who is also related to people around the world, right? So it shapes the history. It shapes your narrative, and I feel like the West don't want Africans to take the DNA test, because when they take it, they might actually be fighting alongside with their relatives in the Caribbean and the Americas for reparation. Yes, I feel like this is why they don't want us to. They don't ship to Africa. I think it might be strategic, because if they do and people get to know that it is true, there is evidence. There is not a concrete evidence that there are people taken from Africa and from families. Those families can unite and um, petition their president and the world leaders, petition them. It might be a big something for them to pay reparation, and this is something that I feel might be happening. But this is me. This is me. Sometimes I get curious. Sometimes I act like Dr. Mumbi. Dr. Mumbi, who, will go into the spiritual, something is spiritual, but I don't like controversies too much. I don't like too much controversy. I like to keep myself simple. I like to keep it simple. But at the end of the day, I want Africans who can take this step. It's expensive. I'm telling you. If I were to be given that money, it would be a big temptation on me to take that test because we spent almost around $200 just to take that test because it was shipped here to me here, and I ship it back. So all the money involved might be close to $200. So you see, a lot of people. How many people earn $200 even in a month here? A lot of people who are begging to even earn 600 Ghana cedi, 700 Ghana cedi, and it's not that the money is even enough, but just to live is a hand to mouth, just to live. So even that 200 dollars is like a monthly salary of some people over here, and they live really well, even on that, even on that mega income. So that tells you that a lot of Africans who don't even have the money in the first place to help to let people ship their kids to them so that they can send their genetic materials and send it back to them, and then it will be what retransferred back to the company. So it has a whole lot of things to do. But I'm calling on all genetics African professors who are in the genetic field, and also African people who work in the genetic field to unite and build and set up at least a continental African data DNA company which has a massive database for us as Africans. Okay, we need that. We need a continental database or African DNA database, which can also help people to take DNA tests and also find their loved ones around, or to even learn much about themselves. Because Africa really needs that. We lost our history, or we lost our oral history. We lost a lot of things about ourselves, and we have to recover from that by doing the right thing. Once again, thank you all for being here. I'm gonna be ending the show quickly, but before I end the show, I will leave a link. If somebody wanna say something, and they should come in quickly and join me and say it quickly before I go. I don't intend to stay that long, but I realize that some of you might have something to say, and I'll be glad to. I don't know. I'll be glad to listen to it. So if you haven't used StreamYard before, you can click the StreamYard link, and you join me on the panel, and we can discuss. So we can have a discussion. I'm waiting. So if you want to join me, the link is out there. Just click the link and join me on the panel, and let's discuss about this. What do you think about whatever I've said? Is there something? Do you find something? Do you want to correct me on something? Do you want to have something to add to what I've said? Do you have something to say? Um, I want to hear from somebody, but I'll be staying here not quite. I'm not. I'll just staying for about 10 minutes, because if nobody join within 10 minutes, that means all is well. I might have to leave. Yes, that means I might have to leave. Um, yeah. Um, With all that being said, I will want you to connect with your ancestors by getting a bead from my cousin in Maryland, in Baltimore. You can order it. You don't have to go to Baltimore. You order it online when you are in America, wherever you are. It will be shipped to you across the US. Um, I'm searching right now. I want to get the right link. Mm, I don't know how will I search this place? Yeah, so I'm waiting on you. If you're watching me, you can call in now. If you have something to say or add to whatever I'm saying, I would really like to hear from you. hmm Yeah, so I'm trying to get a link so that I'll give it to you. The link to the website where you can buy your beat. I don't know why I can't find it. This link, I was having it. I was having this link. Let me just search. Um, yeah. Mhm. Okay. I think it's Humble Beats. Um, yeah, I think it's called humblebeats.co. I'm gonna load it in browser right now. So guys, you can um so family, if you're watching, make sure you like the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Get me at least 2,000 subscribers. I've been on this YouTube for quite some time now. I mean, some few years now. I really want to reach the 1,000 subscribers so that we can, um, yeah, we can do something massive. You know, yeah. So I have on my screen, that's humblebeats.com. Get yourself an African beats from our own sister, um, live live full circle, live full circle. So live full circle is also on YouTube. You can check her out and subscribe to her channel, and also the humble beats. I'm gonna load the distance so that you see what I'm the content of the website. Yeah. hmm So I'm loading the screen. Please make sure you buy something. Make sure you get yourself a bead. Get yourself, your wife, your kids. Get them a bead. Get them a bead. It's very good for us. We need to connect with our ancestors. Let me tell you something about our ancestors. Our ancestors know about gold, they know about silver, they know about whatever. But you know what? They like to preserve the world and the resources in the world. Our ancestors here, they know what sustainability really means. They know how to keep their environment safe. Okay, they really know environmental conservation. That is why they go rather than destroying the environment for metal or pieces of the metals, they go for beads to adore themselves. Okay, so you and I have to connect to our ancestors. We need to get these beads. So if you live in the USA, get it from our cousin, our sister, our big mama. Yes, our big mama live. Uh, circle. Um, is that it? Am I getting the word clear? I think it's yeah, live full circle. So that's humblebeats.co. Humblebeats.co. Um, can you see it? Phoenix Explore the website. You can see about the page, the shop account, and this is it. You get yourself a bead, wonderful bead. This is typical beads. You need them. You need beads like this. You need onyx meet red tiger. You need have a royalty rhinestones. Um, the life, the tree of life. You see, all of it, all of it. You have it. Get yourself that. Get yourself this. Yeah, get yourself a bead. Get yourself wine now, right now. Right now, get yourself a bead. I'm forcing you, guys. I'm really forcing you. Go to humblebees.co if you live in the US. I think it is shipped to US and Canada. I think so. In the UK, wherever you are, go and order for beads. Go and order for beads. This they have different collections here, right? Get yourself some. Adore yourself, okay? It's unisex. It's not only for men, women. It's unisex, right? You have for women, you have for men. Let me tell you, you will come back and tell me stories. You will come back and tell me stories when you buy these beads. Y'all, do you think we joke? I don't joke. You know me already. You know me on the internet that I don't play joke. I don't play games like this. You know. So get yourself one of these beads, and you come back and tell me what you've discovered. I'm telling you, you need to find out for yourself. You need to find out for yourself. Anyways, without much ado, a lot of you don't want to even want to come. I think most of the time contents that are very cool, very cool. There is no somebody here just fighting each other, somebody with a very big, broad voice. It's coming to cause carbon and whatever, when it's not like that, people don't really like it. I feel like people, I don't, let me just take it out. I just think a time will come where the right people will be able to connect with us. Sometimes if you're thinking about, sometimes we think about people that we shouldn't think about. Yes, there are people that are not for us, but we waste so much of our time on them. Then guess what happened? We end up losing people who are really for us, or who we should rather be thinking about, right? Yeah, we do that. Yeah. Life full second don't see that. Um, and thank you very much for your support and your kindness and your warm heart. Thank you so much. I wish a lot of people are the same like you. Um, yes, and also I want to say a shout out to Mr. Andrew. I don't know why Mr. Andrew is not here. I don't know what's happening. I always expect Mr. Andrew to be here. I don't know why. There are people that I always want around. So shout out to all of them. If you're watching, people who will be watching from Ghana, this is your Ghanaian brother, so you have to support your brother. It's a must to support me. Africans, you are don't like we are not we are playing games. Africans, we are playing games. You and I don't have we don't own the database here. We don't own Google database. So if you subscribe to my account, you are not gonna lose any money. You are not gonna lose anything. You need to be the first people to support me. You need Africans, continental Africans. Even if I don't come from your tribe, I don't come from your family, we need to support each other. People who are doing good job, people who are not toxic, these are people we need. Yeah, even if you can't do the job and somebody's doing it, support them. I mean, cheer them. At least give me a like, subscribe, give me a like. Even if you don't have data or you don't enjoy my content, just like the video. When you anytime you see my video, like it, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on the notification. Africans, we are playing games. Whether I say that we are not united, this is it. When you see your fellow brother, whether they are whatever super, whatever, and they are doing something which is not destructive to us, they are not promoting that image that we are only entertainers and we are only people who are naughty and stupid and screwed up. If they are not people like that, right? You have to support. It's like a mass. When you see them, you don't have to think twice. Just subscribe to them. Subscribe. Let's support each other. You are not gonna lose anything. So if an African is who are watching me right now, if any brother across the African continent or sister is watching, you must support me. You must. It's a must because this is what we call unity in the first place. You don't have to really like my content, right? We need to shake the place. We need to. If there is truly a benefit on YouTube, we also have to take a benefit because we can't be creating content and then nothing for nothing. No, at least think about it. If I can also I can make something out of this. Do you think that I wouldn't change something in my environment? There are people over here who don't even have water, but drinking water. What if we are able to build wells for them? What if we are able to support people? We can do that. So guys, it's a must to keep supporting people like us. Okay, even though today I refuse to show my face because of the poor internet connection and also because it's late. I don't want to turn on the light and everything like that. Please, I know people who care about me and care about what I do, or who know how to connect with me, or who really connected with me in the right way, will not find me not showing myself a problem or as a problem. They will take me as I am. So thank you all for taking me as I am. Keep supporting Afriscope. Those of you who still watch me, who still support me, who still take me for who I am without not creating toxic content. Shout out to you. I pray that everything works for you. I pray for blessings in your life. I pray for open doors. I pray that may the universe be good to you and may everything that you do be successful. And I pray that may the universe also keep you on the right path, that you no danger shall befall you. So thank you all. I love you. And I'm going to say peace to you and bye bye for now. Maybe we'll see each other, how you see me on another time. Sometimes the topics come. It comes because it comes from the spirit. I say that it comes from the spirit. It doesn't topics don't really come. Most of the topics that I have, if it's not recommended, then it's not like it just don't come like that. It comes from above. So I really love it and I'm very grateful for taking I just want to say that to wrap up, right? To wrap up the show, I'm very grateful that I've taken 23andme DNA test because I've learned so much about myself and I'm still learning more about myself. And I'm grateful that I'm very grateful that you supported me, African Millennial and their family, and African Millennial family, and all everybody that donated. I'm also very happy that I might not have 1,000 people watching or 2,000 subscribers and billion subscribers, but a few people that support me are gold. They are like 1 in a million. Like seriously, you guys are 1 in a million. You are not regular people, and so don't make yourself a regular person, right? Know that I'm telling you. If you don't know about that, if you don't know about that, just know, I'm telling you, I'm confirming to you that you are a wonderful person. You are a unique person. You are a person. You are like a salt that we need. Okay, you are a salt that when you are not added to the soup there will not be taste in it. I'm telling you. So, guys, keep being positive, keep being supportive, and keep being wonderful as always. Bye bye, and see you the next time.